guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do another one of the Battle of the Palettes video. We do have the Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions palette and then the Bad Habit Aftershock palette. So as you can see, these are pretty freaking similar. So if you look at them side by side, the colors are pretty identical. The Aftershock palette is obviously bigger and rather than the electric palette, but the pan size is pretty close. But today we're going to test them out and see how they perform on the eyes. I did get this look using them. So what do you think? Which one do you think is high end? Which one do you think is the dupe? Let me know down in the comment section below before you start the video. I'm going to do all the swatches and stuff after this clip here, so stay tuned to see the swatches compared, to see how they perform in a look. Get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and if you want to see if they are a dupe or not, then just please keep on watching. So all of the ones on the left are the Huda Beauty and all the ones on the right are the Bad Habit. As you can see, pretty much every single one of these shades are identical. They apply the same, they swatch the same. The pinks are a little iffy with performance-wise, whether or not they blend and they're super pigmented, but overall, pretty much identical dupes. Once again, overall the shades are pretty much identical. There are a few in this selection here, like the reds and the blues, that are a little bit more pigmented in the Bad Habit palette, but overall I definitely would say this palette is a dupe. So the two palettes I did, which I already talked about in the intro, are the Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions palette, which is pretty small. I'm going to compare it to the Anastasia Dip Brow, because that's something that a lot of people know the size of. It's pretty small. And then the one that is the dupe, or we'll test to see if it is the dupe, is the Aftershock by Bad Habit. So this is a lot bigger, as you can see. It is, compared to it, almost double the size almost. It's pretty big. So that's one thing. So let me show you the insides. So the inside of the Huda Beauty one has a giant mirror and the setup like a grid. In the Aftershock palette, there is a mirror as well. You can see me in my other mirror. And then there is the bigger grids where they're not touching. One thing I like about the Aftershock is that there's names with the shadows. With the Huda Beauty, there isn't names, and I don't necessarily love that. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Just looking at it right off the bat, they are pretty freaking similar. I primed my eyes with Max Painterly Paint Pot, and now we're just gonna get started. So, I actually didn't really know what type of look I wanted to do when I was looking into using these palettes for the Battle of the Challenge, just because there's so many colors and I want to try to use as many as possible just so I can give as best of a review as possible. So I was Googling online and I did find this girl. Her YouTube name is Just Enough Eyes, and she created a look using the palette, and I really love how her look looks. So I'm going to do a little bit something similar to that. I'll link her video in the description box down below so I can give credit to her and you guys can see her look because it is so pretty. Started, I'm going to take the shade Chaser inside of the Aftershock palette. So it's the bright orange. So I'm going to take this in my crease with a big fluffy brush, and then from the Huda Beauty palette I'm going to take the same like salmon-y orange color, and I'm just going to work both of those in my crease, and I will clean off my brush in between just to make sure that there's no contamination of the colors. On the eyes, it definitely looks more peachy, which I'm not mad at, I really like. So I'm just going to wipe off my brush and go into the shade in the Huda Beauty. The Huda Beauty palette also does have some like dusting and fallback and kickback, but not as much as the Bad Habit palette did. So right off the bat, I do see the same amount of pigment, pretty much the exact same color. The Huda Beauty does have a tiny little bit of fallout, but that just could be me going crazy, but like I said, that doesn't bother me. So for the lid, I'm going to start by taking the shade Electronica from the Aftershock palette. So it's just the yellow shade, and I'm going to put this on the inner 1/3 of my eye, and I'm going to take the yellow shade as well. Electric Obsessions, yes, the Electric Obsessions palette. And they're both in the center, which I thought was kind of cool. So first I'm going to take the dupe color. Same thing, little powdery, not super crazy, not mad about it. You can see this yellow is pretty pigmented, not mad about it. So I'm going to take the yellow from the Huda Beauty palette, and I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other eye. Same thing, a little bit of kickback on this pan as well, not as much, but... Okay, so the Huda Beauty one is definitely not as pigmented. I prefer the Aftershock yellow. I go back in and I tapped the 2 yellow shades with my fingers, and of course my camera wasn't recording, so I missed that part, but I did go back in with my fingers and tap it in, and I put a little in my inner corner, and you did have more fallout with that, so I guess just be wary that if you do that you might have a little bit more fallout. From the Aftershock palette, which is the really vibrant pink shade, and I am going to take that exact same shade from the Electric palette, and I'm going to apply that in the very center, kind of blending it in with the yellow. Okay, so this is hands down not a dupe color. The pink in the Aftershock palette is awful. There is fallout everywhere. Okay, I don't want to be that harsh. It's not awful, but it's definitely not a dupe. Compared to the Huda Beauty palette, it does not compare whatsoever. The Huda Beauty one is phenomenal. I have no fallout. It applied super nice and super buttery. So definitely not a formula dupe. Color-wise, pretty much the exact same color, just not a formula dupe. So I'm going to go in now with the shade Sensation, which is the vibrant purple shade, and we're going to put that on the outer corner. Same thing, I'm going to take that exact same color in the Electric Obsessions from Huda Beauty palette. So once again, I'm going to try with a brush. I am going to take a tiny bit of Sensation and kind of just rock it in the outer portion of my crease, but I do want to get a little bit smaller of a crease brush. So now I'm going to wipe off that brush, wipe off the flat brush, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. So take that purple color from the Huda Beauty, so right off the bat, so far I really am enjoying the performance of the eyeshadows on the Huda Beauty. There definitely is a quality level performance, and they're performing way better on this side than this side. And as you can see, these are kind of getting muddy and not staying different colors, whereas the Huda Beauty, you can still see the prominent of all the different colors. Which is the vibrancy, like brightish red maroon color, and I'm going to take that same color from the Huda Beauty palette, and I am going to take that on that same little crease brush I used to try to deepen, and I'm going to try to just deepen a teeny bit. Okay, so that's what that looks like. So I'm going to clean that brush off and take that same color from the Huda side. So I'm going to go off camera, apply black winged eyeliner and mascara to my top lashes. I'll show you real back what that looks like, and then I'm going to go away. This is what it looks like with eyeliner and mascara. I didn't want to do falsies because I didn't want you to not be able to see all the color. So I'm going to go off camera, do all of my face makeup, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so my face is done, the tops of my eyes are done, so now we're going to move on to my lower lash line. So for starters, I am going to take Urban Decay Radium Glide On Pencil, and I'm going to line my waterline, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the shade Plur, and I'm going to set it on top, just because I want to use every shade in this palette. So I'm going to take Plur right here, and I'm just going to tap it on top of the eyeliner, and that is this color here in the Huda Beauty palette. So, looking at it, it's pretty much the exact same color, the same amount of pigment. There's no fallout on my face. The Aftershock palette has a little bit more kickback in the pan than the Huda Beauty, but pretty much this is a dupe color. So the next three shades I'm using are Shimmers. So just as like a safety precaution that I don't mess up my face makeup, I am going to take some Laura Mercier powder, and I'm going to just apply some to catch. For starters, I'm going to take the shade Drop, which is the like turquoisey color, and I'm going to put that on the inner corner of my eye, like right next to the yellow. So I'm going to take this shade here then from the Huda Beauty palette, and I'll do the same thing. So I'm just going to take a little short stubby brush and do that. The shade in Drop, wow, it looks wet. I only needed one dip, and it is high pigment. So I'm going to do the same thing with the Huda Beauty palette, and I'm hoping I'm going to get the same results. This is absolutely a dupe. They have the same exact wet, super metallic pigment and payoff. I needed one dip of the brush. There was barely any kickback on both pans, and it looks awesome. Normally, the Bad Habits pigments and like metallic shades are phenomenal, so I'm definitely not shocked that this performed just as good as the high-end one, which is the like purpley bluey color, and I'm going to put that in the middle, connecting the teal to that, and I'm going to take this shade from the Huda Beauty. So I'm just going to take a little bit. So the Huda Beauty palette one is pretty much the exact same color. So that's definitely a dupe. I would say that the Bad Habit is just a teeny bit more purple than the Huda Beauty one, but other than that, it's pretty much identical. BPM, which is the shimmery purple shade. So we're going to put that on our outer third of the lower lash line. And I'm going to take the same shade from the Huda Beauty palette as well. So that was a super pretty color. I really like that. I definitely think they are dupes for each other. So all of the shimmers pretty much in this palette are identical dupes, and you could totally miss out on the Huda Beauty one. So overall, the shimmers did have some fallouts like I expected. So there's more fallouts on the dupe side than the actual side, but I'm going to wipe this away, apply some mascara on my lower lash lines, and I'll come back and I will tell you my final thoughts. So overall, I definitely think that these palettes are dupes. Obviously, there's not going to be colors that are completely the same. Like, I definitely wasn't the biggest fan of Sensation and Tingle from the Aftershock palette. So the purpley, like, vibrant pink, and then the vibrant, like, fuchsia. But oh my god, everything else is pretty much the exact same. As you can see in the swatches, the shimmers, the mattes, all of the colors were the exact same. The only reason I didn't like those two shades specifically is because they weren't super pigmented right off the bat. The performance level wasn't as up to quality as Huda Beauty's palette, but other than that, they were identical. Colors, formula, the way they blended, the way they applied, this palette is definitely a dupe. So if you don't want to spend the $27 on the one little Huda Beauty palette, on Bad Habits website, or it's on the Hush app, you can get all 4 of these. So Huda Beauty came out with 4 of the mini palettes. There's a smoky, a warm one, a mauve one, and the electric one. You can get all 4 of those dupe ones for $30 on either the Hush app or Bad Habits website. I'm not exactly sure if you can do it on both, but I know on the Hush app you can because that's where I ordered it. So I got 4 palettes for the price of 1 pretty much. So I did get all of the other ones in the set. I am going to do another Battle of the Palettes with the Smoky palette because I only own the Smoky palette and the Electric palette from Huda Beauty. But overall, I definitely think this is a dupe. If you're looking for nice, like, travel size palettes, definitely recommend getting the 4-pack for $30 because it just ends up being so much cheaper. Or if you're really just only interested in one, it is $10 for one of the palettes. Without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave down in the comment section below any palettes you want me to try to find a dupe for, anything you want me to test out and see if it actually is a dupe. Also, don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe. I do post videos every Wednesday, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. Bye!